So hello, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is DB Afonso. I'm a first year student of medicine at the University of Benin, and in this video I'm going to show you how I got into medicine in one of the best universities in Nigeria. So this video is divided into two parts, or two major parts. I'm going to describe my UTME journey and my post-UTME journey. Why? Because the requirements for to get into medicine in Uniben is not just your UTME exam, but it also includes your post-UTME exam. So you want to make sure that you do well on both ends. But this is my story, my UTME journey. Unlike what some of you may think, I didn't want to write the UTME. Yeah, you heard that right. The very UTME that got me into medicine, I didn't want to write it. I didn't want to take it. Why didn't I want to take this exam? Because I thought that writing UTME twice applying for medicine was a course. So I told my parents I've been over here that I was not going to take this exam. But somehow, guess what? My parents will overpower my will, and it was for the better because I am very, very glad. I am so happy I took the exam. My subject combination was physics, chemistry, biology, and English. And for the English, I read A to Z Jambies of English, and I read some parts of New Testament of English by Joseph Ofoma. So for the chemistry, I read New School Chemistry. Funny fact, I didn't finish reading the textbook. So I actually read the parts I considered important. I read organic chemistry. I read the full organic, but the rest parts of the textbooks, I didn't read it. And although that was not helpful, of course, that wasn't helpful to me. That didn't aid my grades at all. And I answered a lot of past questions. Yeah, although I wasn't serious as to read for the textbook, or read for the exam using the textbook, but I ensured I went through past questions. That's a no-brainer. Like, no matter how serious I was at that time, I still ensured I went through past questions. I didn't want to read a lot. I didn't like physics. At that point, I did not like physics. Why do we need physics as medical students? So I didn't want to write physics. I didn't like physics. But nonetheless, I read New School Physics. Jam mainly sets from book 1 and book 2. That's more of your SS1 and your SS2 topics. So if you are well grounded in that should give you an average score. For the biology, I ensured I went through a whole lot of questions. I reviewed a lot of biology questions. I can now say that the number of years of biology past question I read was more than that of every other sub combined. As a medical student or as an aspiring medical student, you just have to be good in biology. Like there's no medicine without biology. There's actually no medicine without biology. So I didn't want to write the exam, but that aided me. That aided my reading. And I read some parts of college biology, college biology by Dodome. Now, in my point of view, or from my perspective at that time, that textbook was just so big. How on earth, how on God's green earth, am I supposed to read that? Likewise, for the chemistry and for the physics, I ensured I went through past questions. You know, what helped me was that previously I had been going for competitions for my school, for my secondary school. So that already exposed me to a lot of questions. So how JAM says questions, how WEX says questions, and that alone actually made reading easier, so that the experience from those competitions helped me prepare also for the UTME. I got serious with UTME about 1 month to the exam, and it was not just that, it was not like it died hard. Like I wasn't so focused, but see, I just know, okay, I'm wishing for, this like what I said, I am wishing for a score of 300 plus. And when many of you guys may be like me who wish for a score of 300 plus, but the truth is you gotta work that out. After my jam, I saw my jam score and it was 286, and things became serious. Things became real because I already knew that the amount of work I have to do to get into medicine just increased by ×2. Why? Because our jam scores are divided by 8, and I knew that to get into medicine, the least score you needed 80 to get into medicine. And now, even with having a post-UTME score of 80 over 100, that doesn't give you all the hopes. Like, you can't put your full hope in that. So going on to my post-UTME journey, preparing for post-UTME, things became real. Things became so real that I knew I had to start making a whole lot of corrections. I knew I had to start making better. I knew I had to read better. So I started preparing 1 month to my post-UTME exam. And I did that because I already had admission to a different course, radiography and radiation science, in the same university. I made a joke to my friends that I've never read 6 hours before, and I had to tell myself the truth that this is what I want. I want medicine. And medicine is not a wish. You don't wish for medicine. You don't wish it. It's not a wishing game. It's a game where you put in your efforts, where you read. So I brought out all my books. Yeah. So I brought out college biology, modern biology, essential biology, new school chemistry, by Babio, Lamlad chemistry, Lamlad physics, Lamlad biology also. For the physics, I brought out new school physics, Afulabi, and jam past questions. So for the chemistry, I brought out new school chemistry, lambda chemistry, and of course a whole lot of past questions. The English, I read up to the issues of English, Dante English, and jam past questions. So I brought out all these textbooks and past questions. And what was my goal? To finish these textbooks. And I started reading. Now I made reading a daily habit. So I had just 30 days. So I wrote it down each day. I was going to read. So the first time I read for 6 hours. And I was really happy. Okay, I was making progress. Day 1, 6 hours. Day 2, I went to 7. I was really happy. I was trying to go through all this, like I was trying to go through this pile, like this size, a pile of textbooks, this size. So 6 hours, 7 hours. Then I went 8 hours, really happy. 9, 10 hours trying to read for this exam. Then it was not like day after day. This was like progress, significant progress I made. And for each and for each milestone I conquered in reading, I was really happy. I didn't really have enough money on me to like to celebrate myself, but I knew that I was getting somewhere. I was making progress in reading. I knew more things. I said, oh, I didn't know this, I didn't know that. And suddenly, daycare, I don't know what came over me. I read 14. Yeah, you can read 14 hours in a 24-hour day, and you still be normal. So I read 14 hours, then drop back to 12 hours, 10 hours. Just like that. I kept going through all these textbooks. I finished my first textbook, and I finished another, and I finished another, and it kept building me up. I kept getting momentum. The days kept getting closer. Time actually kept getting shorter. Like time was so short. Time was so short. And on the day of Post-UTME, after going through all these textbooks, after going through this past question, I still wasn't sure I was going to get medicine. I still wasn't sure I was going to be able to answer their questions. And the day of my exam, I was still reading. I was still going through physics because I knew that I had problem with physics. So the day of Post-UTME exam, I was still reading physics. Then called into the hall. I wrote the exam, and I came up from the exam confident that okay, yeah, I did good. So there's this sort of feeling you have where you know that you've read and the questions, they were easy. So I was confident I was going to get it. The results came out about 2 weeks later. Had a score of 82 over 100, which means that I got 41 questions out of 50 correctly, and my aggregate was 76.75, and that was what I needed to get into medicine. So I really learned my lesson, and I was grateful. Yeah, I was very grateful that although I was on serious during my UTME, I was actually able to make significant progress. I had to learn to read, measuring my goals, making sure that each day I made progress, no matter how small. Or even if I didn't make progress, but at least I read that day. Here I find myself, okay, first student in the Department of Medicine and Surgery in the University of Benin. Thank you for watching. Thank you for staying through to the end of this video. And if you love this video, drop a comment, hit the like button, and please subscribe. Okay, so I want you to know for my friends out there who are taking jam, that even if we were on serious during a previous jam, even if you right now you're like, oh, I'm not so serious, well, can be again right now, this very second. After this video, you can try to draw put your phone aside and say that you want to read. You want to read for 6 hours a day. Yeah, you can do that. So after this video, read. Take that difficult subject and read it. It won't kill you. Literally, it won't kill you. The fear you have that, oh, I don't like physics, I don't like chemistry, I don't like biology, it's all in your mind, and it's not true. You actually understand the subject. I want you to pick them up and read. Pick up your phone, pick up your book and read. And I won't say that I made the best choice during jam. No, I won't advise anyone to make those same choices. This is your jam. Doesn't matter if your first, second, your third, your fourth, your fifth, your sixth, or seventh jam. It doesn't matter. Be intentional about this exam. Take it seriously. And who knows, get into medicine.